interviewing Darren Lewin-Hill right under the shade of the bridge on the Merry Creek, with a particular thing in mind ahead of National Homelessness Week. Darren, can you just describe where we are, please?
We're on the Merry Creek in Northcote, and near Rushall Station, and we're immediately opposite the Walker Street public housing estate.
And what's happening there?
The Walker Street estate is one of 8 or 9 public housing estates that's being redeveloped as a public-private development. Across the whole renewal, there'll only be a 10% increase in public housing, but developers will access all these prime sites, and many of the residents will leave and never return.
Now this is actually a very timely and easy sort of intervention here, isn't it, thinking about these, because these sort of developments are happening all over the place, but not taking into account the needs of public and social housing, but also given what's happening in Melbourne and Sydney. Can you sort of run us through those?
Certainly. So in Melbourne, we know that the City of Melbourne is voting in September on a proposed homeless ban on rough sleepers in the city streets. And we've also got the situation in Martin Place where we have people rough sleeping, but a different approach is being taken where the City of Sydney is refusing to move people on in the absence of sustainable housing. We have claims that people in Melbourne are being supported, but it's very short-term accommodation. It's not sustainable housing with support.
And what are you seeing? What's the good advocacy telling us that we need to do?
Well, I think a housing first strategy is being advocated by the homelessness peaks, and I mean that makes a lot of sense both in terms of the human impact on homeless people, but also economically, because the dependence of people on services is so much less if we actually meet their primary need for housing and offer support, rather than wait until they descend into homelessness and suffer all the health impacts that go along with that. Homelessness Australia estimates that the lifespan of a homeless male in Australia is 47 years. We should know what it is for women as well, but the data is very poor.
And Housing First, just explain actually what that is.
Well, it's basically taking the view that essentially what people need who are without a home is a home that they can sustain and that they have the support to sustain.
Now, a lot of people though would think that that's what homelessness and housing services do now, so what's the difference?
Well, the problem is that in Victoria, for example, we have a public housing and transfer waiting list of around 40,000 people. So the provision of public and social housing is not nearly enough to meet the actual need. So we need much more primary investment in public housing. The Victorian government is projecting a surplus of around $8 billion over the next 4 years. So there's no reason why we can't invest at a scale more appropriate to the actual need.
Thank you very much, Darren.